Whenever other YouTubers are doing top 10 things in games, they always mention that it's just their subjective opinions and you can disagree. Well, it's not the case here. I am the best roguelike player in the world, all of the things I stated in this video should be considered facts, and if you disagree, you are a bad player, sorry. Now, let's get to the list. At number 10 we have Revelation. Being straightforward, Revelation is great. It gives you flight, 2 soul hearts, and a beam that deals Isaac's damage 15 times. Sounds super strong, right? Why is it on the list? Well, while healing and flight are undeniably useful, the Holy Beam itself... it's not as good as the woke mind virus wants you to believe it is. The beam takes 2.3 seconds to charge up, and that's a lot. If your run is already somewhat decent and you have some tears up, it's easier to ignore Revelation and just shoot normally. Another important thing is that the beam scales with your damage, but does not scale with tears, which means items like soy milk, almond milk, tiny shroom, and other tears up will not synergize with Revelation. So unless you have a lot of damage ups, Revelation won't be that amazing of an item. And if you already have a lot of damage, then why do you need Revelation? Let me repeat, Revelation is a great item. It's nice to get, but I would rather find other quality 4 or even 3 Angel Room items, and I really have no idea how people think this item is better than Brimstone.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on.
Number 9 is Rock Bottom. Again, I know it's a good item and I get why community loves it, but it's not as powerful as some make it look. The most important part of finding Rock Bottom is when you find it. If you get it on the first or second floor, cool, you probably won that run. But getting it on Womb or later usually won't be beneficial, because treasure rooms won't spawn anymore, so you can get items like soy milk, mutant spider, polyphemus, and many others. Yes, you can still juice out some use from it by finding a tarot card or having items that temporarily give you stats, and that's valid. As I said, Rock Bottom is a good item, but in no way it deserves 4th quality. But don't worry, Isaac YouTubers, you can still use it in your thumbnails to farm views. Number 8. Holy Water. Holy Water is a solid familiar. It stuns enemies and deals decent damage. It's a great item to get in early game, but later it falls off very quickly. Holy Water can't do damage to flying enemies, which by the way includes all these bosses, and it becomes harder to even use because other familiars will take priority over Holy Water. It does become better with BFFs since it also spawns a blue fire, but you won't get the synergy often and it still won't stun flying enemies. In conclusion, Holy Water is a nice item to find in Treasure Room early game, but a total disappointment to get in Angel Room. At number 7 is Red Key. We are finally getting our toes into hot water. Red Key is a 4-charge active item that creates a room upon use. Red Key can create special rooms like shops, treasure rooms, or devil/angel rooms. However, it's only 11% chance to make a special room. Most of the times it will just be a normal ass room with nothing interesting in it. But what about the ultra secret rooms, you ask? Well, guess what? Ultra secret item pool sucks. There are definitely some run-winning items, but it also has some of the worst thing you could find. And since Red Key is an active item, you are really missing out on some more useful and practical actives. The only use I can get consistently out of Red Key is getting to an error room, but it's very hard to do on earlier floors, not viable on alt path, and impossible on ascent. Red Key should not be quality free item, especially when Crystal Key exists. For number 6, I ask you to put down your soy milk. I don't want you to choke. Ready? Spindown Dice. Spindown Dice is extremely overrated. To be quite honest, it's just a better d6. You know what will you get if you reroll an item, but it's not always that useful. Like yeah, awesome, I can reroll rotten meat into breakfast, into dessert, into dinner, into lunch. Amazing stuff. Of course there are some ridiculously good rerolls, but it still depends on what items you find in the first place. Spindown Dice is way too unreliable to win your run on its own, especially if you get it late in the run. In my opinion, the Infinity is a better dice. Number 5 is for Diplopia. Back in my days, I used to be very Diplopia build, thinking it's one of the best active items one can find. Now, as a veteran Isaac player, I can admit that I was wrong. Diplopia is an extremely powerful item in theory, but god is it irritating to use. Most quality 4 items don't stack together well or don't even do anything.
It would be so awesome. It would be so cool.
I think that if you already have a decent active item, it's better to use Diplopia on the current floor, like in the boss room or in the shop itself. If you're lucky enough, get some free devil deals. So to put it shortly, find Diplopia, use it as soon as you can, and look for a better active item. Number 4.5, not subscribing to me. Dogshit item. If you use it, you have a skill issue. Get better. Moving on. In number 4, we got Ocular Rift. I honestly don't have a problem with the item strength. I think it's a good luck-based tier effect and some nice extra damage. But the pull effect itself I hate so much. The rifts you create will often make bullet hell patterns unpredictable and very hard to dodge. And I don't even wanna talk about how many rounds I lost because of some enemies decided to fly through the room suddenly and hit me. Ocular Rift is a detrimental item, especially on glass cannon characters, so I recommend to actively avoid it. In top 3, we got Money Goes Power. It angers me so much knowing people genuinely consider this item to be great. Money Goes Power gets you 0.04 damage for each coin you have, and it sounds really good, doesn't it? Wrong! Getting 99 coins only gives you 4 damage. This is like getting 2 damage ups from the boss pool, except it requires you to basically never spend money in shops. And it's not like you're gonna start the game with 99 coins, you know? In your average run, you will mostly get like 1.5 damage from this item, which is yes, damage. But it's so shitty compared to other quality free items like Stapler or Keeper's Sack. Money Goes Power isn't a bad item, it's just very overrated. Which this top is about. Hi, Left from the Future here. The next 2 items were either buffed or completely reworked in Repentance Plus DLC. I haven't played that update all that much, so I can't say yet how I would change the list. If we ignore number 2 and 1 of this top, then I'd say the most overrated item in the online DLC is Rock Bottom, that was upgraded to quality 4 for some reason. Lmao? Gee, I wonder who playtested the DLC. Anyway, getting back to the video. Number 2. Void. Void is a bad active item, okay? Let's stop pretending it's anywhere near D6. Void is a 6 charge active item that upon use turns passive items into random stat ups. Active items gets absorbed into the Void and now will activate every time you use the Void again, except single use items like Mama Mega or Genesis. Here's an issue though. The stats you gain are random, and half of them don't even matter at all. Shot speed doesn't matter in 95% of the runs I have. Range is worthless if you get any good tier modifiers like Brim, Technologies, Sword, Monster Lung and other stuff. And even then, like 2 range ups would be enough for most runs. There's also speed which gets capped at 2, so sometimes Void won't even give you your second stat, cause fuck you. I don't have issues with how much luck it gives you, but just 1 damage? Really? The only good stat Void gives you is Tears Up, because it can break the tier cap. Now let's talk about active items. Using Void on active items is usually not a good strategy, because a lot of great active items don't take 6 entire room clears to charge. Guppy's Head, Candles, Metronome, Sharp Straw. At the end of the day, Void is incredibly boring. D6 can turn Able into C-section, but Void can turn it into stats that might not even be useful. I really like Abyss because it's a cool item that turns both active and passive items into damage, which is always nice. But Void doesn't deserve quality 4, and I can't recall a single run where Void carried me or made my run very powerful. And the most overrated item in the game is Lil Portal. You might be confused why I put an already bad item in the list of overrated ones, so let me elaborate. Lil Portal is probably the worst fucking item ever added to the game, and it does not get enough hate from the community. This guy deals 5 times less damage than Lil Chubby at his base form. Even when he eats 4 pickups, he still won't be as good. And yes, eating pickups. This asshole of an item will consume pickups on the ground, and trust me, it will eat a bunch of bombs and kills you wanted to get yourself. Let's talk about its main mechanic. Portals to random rooms. These portals can't send you to error rooms, devil rooms or angels rooms, which means for 5 pickups you have a small chance to get into secret room, shop or treasure room. You could get inside with 1 key or 1 bomb, but this item wants 5 pickups from you to send you into a random room. It's not even guaranteed to be anything good. Even if you give it just 5 coins, that's an entire soul heart from the shop. And if you get Lil Portal in grid mode, just restart, don't touch yourself. And if you think this item can't get any worse, Lil Portal can soft lock you. If it makes a portal in front of the boss door or any path to it, you just killed your run. It can also appear during a boss fight or boss rush, and if you get unfortunate enough to bump into it, say goodbye to your progress. Lil Portal sucks and there's no redeeming qualities. It's a piece of shit item and I hope it gets deleted from the game next update, or better it gets sent to Sun as a nuked. Thanks for watching my objective and based list of overrated Isaac items. I will be uploading a video about top 10 most underrated items next week, so tune in. There's also a link to my coffee in description in case you're ultra greedy and have enough pennies to support me. Have a good night.